All right. So how's everybody doing?
Great.
I know you can hear me croak. I can hardly talk, but that's okay. Okay, so, when we first met, okay, I talked to you about, I have a crystal ball. Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, and the crystal ball is mathematics. Okay, statistics. And typically what you try and do is you measure what happened in the past, okay? You gather data and measure it up, okay? And assuming that everything is equal moving into the future, the numbers or the output of the data should be exactly the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we did yesterday is a reflection of what's going to be happening today and moving into tomorrow if we continue being consistent and doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so what I did, I ran a report, and I know it sometimes seems, and when I give you guys these offers to write, it seems somewhat haphazard, but not at all. Okay. And I'll just read everybody's name out because I got them. Okay, Dino, I sent you 15 offers. Andre, 18. Parker, 17. Heather, I only saw twice, 2 deals. John Davis, 11. Donnie Bailey, 7. Costco, 5. Carrier Alder, 16. Nico, 16. Jenny Savoyon, I've only ever seen it at one time.
She doesn't even know how to make offers.
Yeah, I mean, I sent her a couple offers and then she didn't do them, so I sent them to somebody else. So she's down for 0, and Danny Jones is at 15, okay? Last time I looked, we had, and by the way, this is the total of 122 offers, okay? This is based on what we've done since we first started working together, which was about the middle of the month, middle of February, okay, right? So now, how many deals do we get on the contract? 5? I think it's 5. 5 deals. Yep. So we're closing percentage is about 4.2%, okay? So now, is this as efficient as we can get? Okay, not at all, because what that means is even though overall on the big number, the closing percentage is 4.2%, what's 4% of 15? You know, half a deal.
Yeah.
Not even that, okay? So what you have to do now is we have to look at all the pieces in between that we manage, okay? Now, if you look at any successful business that's out there, would you call a McDonald's a successful business? Right, you would, right? Okay, and why are they successful? Because they're consistent. Because it doesn't matter which McDonald's restaurant you go, even around the world. Now they have fish sticks in Japan, right? Okay, but they may have some local foods added in to the McDonald's menu. But generally speaking, the service and the menu and everything that you get at McDonald's is going to be consistent throughout every single McDonald's restaurant out there. And you go to yourself, okay, how does that relate to me? Okay? How that relates to you is in your own self-discipline and consistency. Okay? I don't know if you do this yet or not, but I get up pretty much and do the same thing every day. Okay, I don't know if you do that because I know some of you guys have got kids, you've got family, so each day can kind of be a little different, okay? But even within that environment, okay, you can still create a daily workflow. And the reason I say daily, many reasons for this, but we'll kind of go through that a little bit. Do we spend money every day? Right, we do.
Yeah.
We spend money every day. And what's great about our job is that Nobody says you get paid on a Wednesday or every other Friday. You know, I was talking to my gal last night and she says she's already spent her money or whatever from her paycheck. Okay, and she can't wait until she gets paid on the 20th again. Because that's, can you imagine living like that? I personally can't, okay? Like, oh my God, so now she's waiting. I can't remember how much money she said she had left to buy groceries or whatever, okay, for herself. Okay, but she's waiting for that next paycheck. The thing about the work that we do is we get paid whenever we want to get paid, okay? We write our own checks. Okay? We write our own job descriptions. Okay? And so what we do is up to us. Now, if I look at any successful salesperson that's out there, okay, and I'm talking to guys that are the big ballers. I have a friend of mine, Michael O'Brien. I think he's maybe 2 years older than I am. I can't remember. We both met about the same time. We were both in our mid-20s. And I was in the advertising business. He was in the car business. And we kind of molded the advertising business and the car business together. He's right now, you can look him up on the internet, Michael O'Brien. Really good looking guy. Used to play for the Seattle Seahawks as a free safety. I think he played for like 20 seconds until his third concussion took him out of the game. Okay? But this motherfucker was gung-ho. Super good looking guy. We'd go out to lunch. Women would go to the table, give him his fucking business card, call me sometime. And I'd be sitting there going, what the hell, am I chopped liver? You know, there was no benefit to being his wingman. Okay, but, okay, right now, he owns one of the largest privately held luxury car dealership networks in the country, mainly out of the Pacific Northwest. Look him up. Seattle, Washington, Lexus of Bellevue, Porsche, Audi, every single fucking franchise, luxury franchise you can name, he owns, and we both worked together starting those franchises up. I helped him get him his second Lexus franchise. We put in the selling systems, we put in the marketing, we put in everything. And what this guy did is every day, he was in his office at 7 o'clock. Every day, because he was a football player, right? And actually, when I used to work out with him, I had a body like a Greek god, you know? But every day we'd hit the gym together at 5:30. Work out, follow his workout regimen, boom. I'd go home, he'd go home, shower, shave, whatever. We'd be back in the office at 7 a.m. and we banged it out, okay? But every day, he had a set schedule. Okay, and this is about what's called discipline. Okay, doing the same thing every day. Now, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing every day but expecting the results to change. Right? Okay, so if you're doing the same thing every day right now, and it's working maybe, how's it working for you, Parker? Out of a score of 10?
It's getting better. It's
getting better?
Yeah.
Why is it getting better?
Because I'm sticking to the routine.
Okay, there you go. All right, you didn't have a routine before?
No.
Okay, all right. How about you?
I'm trying to make it here on time. It's kind of hard when, you know, you're the only income coming in and my, you know, have to put a roof over the head, so.
No, I know, it is. But
You know,
but here's the deal. This job, this business, being self-employed,
Yeah.
is sometimes like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Yeah.
Okay? I told you the story about when I went to work for Don Wolfstone, went home and told my wife, honey, it's a base pay plus commission. Of course, I was lying, right? Okay? It was just all commission, okay? But the reality of it is that lights a fire under you, okay?
Yeah.
Right? And if you can come to work every day, you know, and say, man, I really did everything I possibly could today. I left it all at the office. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then you can't blame yourself. Nobody can go to you and say, hey, it's on you. Okay, you did what you're supposed to do. And the thing is that you never know. You know, you see those movies with the dams, they have those dams, and they're trying to bust the dam, right? Okay? and they're hitting it, and they're hitting the dam, they're going, when the hell is this thing gonna break? Problem is, you don't know. You have no idea, okay? But I will tell you something, every action has a reaction, okay? And eventually, the dam will break, okay? And the difference between in life is that I've got lots of people I've worked with that were like, they weren't really partners, I mean, we're working together on projects, right?
Mhm.
So they were associates, but my well-being and their well-being, kind of financial well-being anyway, was dependent upon each other's work and what we were doing. And I can't tell you how many guys I've had that I've worked with that I've literally dragged along with me, dragged. I mean, just drag to get them to keep going and not giving up. And I had a deal with a guy, he was an investor. He went and got his real estate license specifically to write offers for me. And he started writing offers. And using the same system we use, okay? We're getting deals coming in. And then I was taking the deals and then flipping them to investors, doing joint ventures where we're doing the flips together and everything else, okay? He was making his commission, plus he was making a little extra money on this side, you know, everything was kind of happy. He still wasn't making as much money as he should have, right? Mm-hmm. And then about fourth quarter, not 2017, I want to say fourth quarter 2016, about October through December, he gave up. And how I noticed was there weren't follow-ups being done on deals. Plus the deal flow all of a sudden slowed down in terms of deals coming in. And I was calling agents up and talking to them and everything else, okay? And what was really interesting, when I ran an analysis, and of course by then he and I, I'm fucking done with you. Okay, when I ran an analysis like first quarter of the following year, and there were 17 deals where people sold their properties for offers less than ours. Why was that? Failure to follow through. You can still have a higher offer. It can still be a cash deal, but you know half these agents. How many agents have you spoken to? Did you get my offer? Oh yeah, I think so. Did you read my offer? Oh no, I haven't had a chance yet to look at it. Right? Okay? I mean, these guys, they don't have the skill set to organize their own fucking sock drawer. Right? And so they're getting offers in their email. It's not like their email is only offers, right? They got all kinds of other stuff. So what happens, and you know how sometimes even me, I miss a message I got like last week. Oh my God, I got this message from this guy, I missed it. How many times do you think that happens to you? Right? Oh yeah. So the key is to establish a routine, a daily, this is what I'm gonna do every single day, being consistent, okay? This is what time I'm gonna get up. This is what I'm gonna do for work. This is when I'm gonna get out on the phone. This is when I'm gonna put up on my deals. This is when I write up my offers. And the cool thing is Las Vegas is a 24-hour town. I used to think the only time to work out was to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning and go work out. And then you start dating strippers, right? And they're up all night, okay? They go to work out at the gym at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. You wanna go to the gym? You haven't worked out today. No, yeah, I think I will. Okay, so I learned that, you know what? I don't just have to work out at 5:30. I can work out at 8 o'clock at night. I can work out 4 in the afternoon. So as your schedule allows, even during the day, like today, right? You had the kids this morning, you were gonna have the kids this morning at 8:30 until 8:30, blah, blah, blah. But you're gonna wrap your day around that, okay? What I want you guys to start doing is to just take a sheet of paper and take blocks of time. And this is what I'm gonna get up, this is what I'm gonna do from here to here, this is what I'm gonna do from here to here, so I'm gonna do from here to here. And also balance your life. There's 2 other components you need to add to that. Okay, if you have a family, some family time, right? Like 1 hour, 2 hours, go to park, go to whatever, or just leave that open so that whatever you feel, I'm a very spontaneous kind of guy. I'll just say, hey, let's go jump in the car and drive to California. Okay, sure, you know, okay. Leave open some spontaneous time. And also for yourself as an individual, you need a mental health break. You need time to spend, you know, either studying, learning your craft more, okay? Or I love watching all kinds of documentaries about anything and everything that I can learn more about. You know, I don't care if it's about, you know, the ancient Greeks, or it's about Napoleon, or it's about Caspio, which is a new software application I'm looking at using, okay? But also take some of that time and devote it to yourself for your inner growth as a person, you know, both physical, mental, and spiritual. Because otherwise you're not a well-rounded, balanced individual, and your life becomes lopsided. Does that make sense? And that's really, really important. So I want you guys to take some time today, this morning, when we break, and go through and just make your daily routine, okay? And what's cool about that daily routine, that start time can be any time, right? So some days it might be, you know, the start time is at 6, okay? Another day, because you've got other stuff going on, the start time is at 11 or 2 in the afternoon, or whatever it might be, okay? But create that daily routine. Because if you're consistent, if you look at what you're doing, okay, you will be successful. All right? One of the things I want to do today is I'll probably do it over, my voice is starting to already croak out. I don't know if I'm going to do it over Zoom or over the phone, but I want to go through all your deals one by one. I noticed that not a lot of people are changing the status in the system in terms of either from make offer to offer made, or even you know, going into depth like rejection or whatever. And then there's a couple of resubmits I sent out to people. Maybe it's because you haven't been looking for resubmits, okay? Resubmit is essentially an offer that we either made earlier, and then it went into C status or whatever and came back on market. And those offers are like super duper strong, because you can call these, it's like the BOMs for the first time. But I already made you an offer, and let me tell you what, if you took my offer, we'd be closed by now. That's the kind of conversation you'd be having with that person, okay? So,
I had that yesterday and got rejected again.
you got rejected again? Yeah, why did you reject? Which deal was that?
The one that fell through, she counted it back at 220, so I went and took a look at it, did the video.
Okay.
So I called her up and said, hey, your property's shit, pretty much.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, well, you need to educate your
Seller, yeah.
You know, and she's like, I know, I've been trying to tell them this and that. I'm like, okay. She's like, well, counter it back and, you know, put all that in there. So I send the counter back and I send her, you know, an email saying how much of a shit property it is.
Okay.
And how much, you know, work it needs.
Right.
And I guess the seller didn't like that. So he sent me a rejection.
Okay.
So,
That's
right.
actually the way to do it. But in the future,
she said that he doesn't want to go less than 220.
He'll change his mind eventually. But in the future, instead of putting in the email, like when you have a laundry list of stuff that needs to do with the property,
Yeah.
put it actually in the counter.
I told him not to do that.
I do it in the counter. No,
Yeah.
because then you know. Fuck, really, right? And then here's the other thing too. When someone's made aware of what's wrong with their property, what do they have to do moving forward?
Well, the guy had gone over there and started patching some shit up, but it still looks like shit.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question.
Oh.
So let's say I'm a property owner,
Uh-huh.
and you come to me and say, Jack, you've got, what's that stuff they put in? Missing fill insulation. You've got missing insulation in the roof, okay? Or this is not working, or that's not working. Now that you've told me that, what am I supposed to do? And I'm aware of it now as the property owner or even the agent. What am I supposed to do moving forward in the future?
Supposed to adjust the price accordingly to.
No, I'm supposed to disclose it.
Oh, okay.
That's part of your real estate cost. Okay, if an agent knows there's something wrong with the property, they have to disclose it. If an owner, now it's more difficult, because owners will hide stuff from the agent, right? So if the owner knows, but the agent knows, then as an agent, you're not in jeopardy, okay?
Yeah.
But the owner is, okay? So it's your job as an agent, especially if you're listing, to find out everything there is with the property, wrong, right, or indifferent, okay? Because that's your fiduciary responsibility. Now, if a third party comes along and says, hey, I found this out, this out, this out, and you as the agent are knowledgeable about this now, it is your duty, and you have a right to disclose it to any additional third party that's part of a transaction. Even if the owner comes to you and says, hey, listen, I know that guy said this is wrong with my property, but don't tell anybody, you can't do that. Because now you're putting your own license in jeopardy. Does that make sense? Okay?
Yeah.
So that's why I have you put it in as part of the counter, because now we have a documented addendum proof where we came in, we walked the property, we found A, B, C, D wrong with the property, but also it acts as a reminder instead of an email, because once I guarantee the agent didn't show them the email, she probably just told them what the email said, right?
Probably.
If the
yeah.
guy sees it in writing, black and white, he goes, you know, and then she pushes it and says, look, and goes back to my argument again, okay? If your house was an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 220 is a great price. But it's not an 8 out of 10. It's not a 9 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's like a 6 out of 10. Okay, now I'm not saying that it should be 60% of 220, right? Okay, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely not 220. So we know 220 is not the right number. You know my number is not the right number, because that's why you keep saying no to me. But somewhere there is gonna be a number that's gonna make both you and I happy. What's that number gonna be? Come back to me with a number that makes sense that I can take to my investor, okay? And again, tell him or her why this needs to be the number. Okay, but you did good. You did really, really good.
I'm gonna send her another one actually today. That was my plan. I'm gonna send her another offer and then actually call her up. Say, hey,
You know what, you can send as many offers as you want.
Send it to her, like, look, I'll take
No, I was
like
gonna
one,
go-
cause that's
yeah,
my
2 or 4.
commission. Just tell her, like, look, I'll take 1% of my commission and see if the other agent wants to do that too. So now you got some more room there, you know?
Yeah, the thing is, here's the challenge, and I don't mind doing that in some instances, okay? But when you start doing that to make every single deal happen,
You cut yourself.
yeah,
Sure.
it's you're called the. I had a client of mine years ago in the car business, the downtown discounter. His name was Michael Kelly, and he always used to say when people came out there and they called themselves the downtown discounter, he said they just discount their way out of business, right? What happens is it becomes a way of making the deal happen. Okay, we've got some offers right now that we probably shouldn't have taken. In hindsight, 2020, I was weak last week. Okay, like that Ventana deal, right? We should have taken that deal.
No.
No, the agent sold us. She's the one who came and said, well, you know, if you come back with any number lower than this, the seller's not gonna kick you. Okay, fuck you. My number's gonna be lower. That's what our response should have been. But instead we go, oh, okay, no problem. Okay, she sold us, okay? We have to go with the numbers that we believe are right. Otherwise, we're wasting everybody's time, okay? And I know that every time in sales, especially when I've taken that kind of mental attitude towards everything I've done, I've always gotten phenomenal deals. Because I'll just keep saying no, 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 no. Especially when somebody comes, anything lower than 210, we're not gonna go, that's fine. Absentee homeowner living in California, right? So they're paying taxes, they're paying electricity, they're paying insurance, they're paying all kinds of stuff. And I don't care how much money anybody says you have, it still becomes awfully tiresome writing those checks every single month and not have anything to show for it. And at the end of the day, you go, okay, I'm done bleeding. you know, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. Okay, so what I want you guys to do today is I want you to write out a daily routine, you know, from A to Z, every single part of your life. Discipline it, make it happen, visualize it, imagine yourselves doing this, imagine yourselves making it happen, okay? Obviously, you know, our routine is pretty simple. Our routine is write offers, follow up, and follow up 3 times. That's all we do. Write offers, follow up. Some of your deals that you have in the system have the status of change, their C status or whatever, or went into P, okay? I want you to call the agent up and say, hey, listen, what happened? I had my offer in, find out about the deal they took. Okay, why'd you take that deal? Well, the very simple question, which means get the fuck off my phone. Oh, they had a higher offer. Okay, apart from the higher offer, how much higher was it? Was it all cash? Was it waiving contingencies? Okay, or is it an FHA with an inspection? Because sometimes some of those inspections, when they come into the repairs, those repairs can be 3, 4, 5, 6 grand, right? Which, when you negate that, when you take that off the amount that they offered, it brings it a lot closer to our price, okay, with no hassle, right? Okay, so I want to find out why we're not getting deals. Okay, can you do that for me? And then put notes in the system, and also when you follow people up, write notes in the system, email them to me, because that's the only way that I know that you're doing that. All right, cool. Let's get to work this morning.
Let's get it on.
Make it happen. You're welcome, man.
And I don't think my system is working.
What?
I don't think my system is working.
Why is not? Why is it not working?
I don't know. I can't figure out how to like log in and do all that stuff. Well, I log in, but like it doesn't let me change or do anything.
Well, no. Have Dino show you one of the other guys.